Let me bring you to the year between 1979 and 1983. I can still remember the period, the time when the newspaper was the only access for me to get the information. It was the only access since we do not have television at that particular time. What is more interesting was the fact that the newspaper was not only shared with my siblings, my family, but also being shared with my cousin's family who lived nearby. There were 25 of us all together sharing one newspaper, which cost less than 1 ringgit. I had always made sure that I would be the first person to read the newspaper among my family. Reading and gaining knowledge from the newspaper was something so precious to me. It brought so much satisfaction and joy. It really refreshing and made me excited every day. I will cut out my favorite news and paste it in a scrapbook. I will read it over and over again until I can memorize the sentences and would use them in an essay assignment at school. Well, that is my story and how the media shapes my behavior and my interest. What about today's generation? Do they feel the same excitement towards the news messages like me, like I did? It was the Malaysian Cup season. Me and my two sons were watching a football match broadcasted live between JDT and Perak. Not long after the match began, my younger son suddenly took the remote and switched to another channel to watch another match also broadcasted live. I thought that we agreed to watch JDT. It's okay lah, Mama, just a moment, he said. My son kept changing from one channel to another. It seems that he couldn't wait any longer to know the result of each match. I was upset. At the same time, I was so worried. To me, when you watch a football game, it is not just about who win the match. You really have to sit down and enjoy. Between my story and my son's story, and in the context of media use and media consumption, there is something that we need to pay attention to. Today's generation, they have access resources. When you are being overloaded by so many media messages, do you know which one is the best? Do you know how to choose the best? Or maybe you didn't even have time to do so. Let us understand about the nature of the media. The term media has been used by scholars and media literacy advocates in varied ways. Media has been represented by traditional media such as television, film, radios, print publication, and also CDs. But new media can encompasses a wide variety of increasingly integrated and interactive. New media has new communication form mostly involving the internet and related communication technologies. So now we have social media and we communicate, we share, we disseminate information through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Both, whether it is traditional media or new media, they are very important. According to Davies 2001, television operates as a religion because not only it offers moral codes, it portrays vision for the way we are to conduct life and we mold our identities based upon those representatives. Media is the dominant social institution in the society, fulfilling function. It takes over the function of home, school, government, and even churches. Does the new media now operate as a religion as well? Our everyday behavior has been influenced by the media. When you are happy or when you are sad, you will always turn to social media to somehow express your sadness or happiness. You will turn to social media for comments and advice. We turn to social media as if it is a religion that we have to believe and have to have faith in it. Well, it cannot be denied that digital media are becoming more dominant in the present post-television era with media contents, their effects, the images, and system. As an audience, we are being adjusted to this fact. It influences our thinking. It changed our life. It is evident that a dramatic transformation of society and shift in thinking and lifestyles are catalyzed by this digital technology. Traditional media is more organized and scheduled, while new media is not organized. Traditional media is limited. New media is unlimited. Traditional media is not flexible, where you cannot amend the errors while it's being printed. But when it comes to new media, you can amend the errors immediately. New media can be accessed by anyone, anywhere. With all these key features, the advent of alternative media and internet social network has brought along a great deal of nonsense, lies, hoaxes, disinformation, misinformation, conspiracy theory, propaganda, and of course, manipulation. We know as much as it brought advantages to our life, it's also problematic. And therefore, we desperately need media literacy skills. I quoted this from several journals. Media literacy is the ability to effectively and efficiently comprehend and utilize mass communication. Media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, and produce information for a specific outcomes. Media literacy is the ability to access, understand, and create communication in different contexts. Media literacy is the ability for us to read the media. We must know how to evaluate and critique. Most of us, when we visit social media through phones, we are actually be surrounded by abundance of news, contents, and even news that we are not looking for. So our kids now already use smartphone with access to the internet and social media, while we know at this age, learning is most effective for them. And the fact that we have to protect them from unsavory content. Our young people who are relatively inexperienced in life have been bombarded with so many messages, tremendous information, until they do not know which message are true, which one is false, which one is half truth, which messages are merely assumption, is just an allegation, is a bias or prejudice. They do not know. Teaching how to develop a critical attitude news messages on the internet and social media is important to develop a critical thinking towards news messages. As a media consumer, we need to understand the world does not revolve around the amount of likes, followers, or subscribers from your social feeds. Dopamine is the reason for the little rush you get when you post gets more likes than normal. You are so excited. We need to teach the society the skill to discern what was real in many real life content of the social networks. It seems real, but is it really real? We need to teach the society how to deal with real reality. The fact that reality mediated by the media, it can be twisted. We need to make people understand that customer testimonials are not the most powerful trust signal that you can solely rely to. I have been using this product for so many times. We have to teach our young that having a flawless white complexion is not the true interpretation of what beauty is, but the obsession is actually rooted in the multi-billion-dollar skin whitening cosmetic industry. At the end of the day, we need to guide and caution the society to be more grateful, to be happy for each little things that they have in their life without comparing with one another. We need measurement to combat all this information disorder. As educators, we really have to sit down and think about the most appropriate approaches and the best framework to do so. We, our children, and younger generation have to know how to assess the media in the light of the truth.